Peace, reflections. I am you, and you are I, universe, eon, tapping in. I open this divine portal with divine intention and divine protection. It is November 30th, Sunday, 7:28 p.m. within their man-made Gregorian calendar, within their man-made time spell, within their man-made system. And from 4 p.m. is when I start my tracking from, of once again cleansing and rising up from eating this man-made drug food. I ate some man-made bullshit, I ate some eggs, egg sandwich, egg cheese mayonnaise sandwich, and some macaroni and cheese and other shit, just leftovers from Thanksgiving and shit. We understand that their holidays are mass energy rituals, and things like Thanksgiving are extremely satanic and evil in general, for it's literally a day within its whole history of the holiday, or like origin, or like story of the holiday. It's like literally for Thanksgiving especially, it's literally about a day where they put it as the Pilgrim and Indians, but we didn't understand who the Indians really were, and that Indians were just one title they gave to us on one part of the land to hide us from the truth and divide us from the whole unified species we are on the collective scale, and the truth of that we are indigenous to this whole planet. You feel me? The being we are, they group us with them. What they call black people and Latino people, that's a title they placed upon us after they pulled up on us and saw us in the woods, saw us on the land, right? And they were made in our image, but within them, these human beings, these white people, in all the different variants, biologically, genetically, spiritually, internally, we are not the same thing. We don't vibrate on the same level. They're a physical being within the 3D. We are something that is way beyond this body, that comes within this body. We manifest within this form, and this is a divine form which allows us to create and interact. This physique is the God physique, and it's a super high evolved form. No other being has a form. Well, there's many beings that are made within this type of physique, but we're the original beings with this physique, and they'll call it the humanoid. They'll call any being that stands upright with this type of body humanoid, but really this is the God physique, right? And so when these white people, when these human beings first came to our planet, and they saw us spread across the land, and there was no such thing as a word of black or Latino. And so this is what we're trying to get at when we say that we are not all one race. We are not all one human race. That's something that exists within their language that they boxed our minds within after they started teaching our children within their schools. Everything we know now exists within the past 150 years of being within their system. But we just came out of being in nature. So in nature, it's a whole different, like everything we think, every single way we think now, stemming from language and watching and what we observe and what they instilled in us. If you were born in nature, your whole, everything way you think and everything you think about life now wouldn't even be the way it is, because you would have been with your own mind to absorb life fully within your own connection out in nature. Especially if you weren't speaking language either, and you weren't programmed with these limiting beliefs and ideas about what you are before you can connect to what you are. So we are the beings of life that are like the whole timeline of life. These human beings just came very recently. They were made within the image of what we are. So the intelligence we have is the intelligence of life. And exit out these human beings that came very recently, these white people who grouped themselves in with us. We are the beings of life, and everything has been whitewashed. And I'm mixed, but I'm the being that I'm the being that my people are. Period. So that's what I'm trying to get at when it goes to these human beings were made within life, and they're a 3D being that lack a soul. We are the soul. So we are the soul that steps into this body. Like the being that I am talking to is the soul. And that is a piece of source, literally. And if you cut a piece of a cake, what is that piece? A cake? It's still a cake. If I cut a piece of a big cake, that piece of cake is a cake. If I am a piece of source, I am source. That's why we are creators. We are gods. I am a child of God, a manifestation of God within the physical. And everything I channel and emanate into this realm comes directly from source. What they call God within their English language, which is just one variant, one modern variant, which is actually one of the most recent translation of that same energy they're trying to depict when they call it God or any other word that they used to call it. Because it used to not be called God. But these are just many different words they came up to talk about what we are as we descended in frequency. Because we literally were giants. Like on a higher frequency, we literally were bigger. We're giants. Like the being we are, unmolded by their schools and their rhetorics and their thought programs and their ideas of life. If you were never born in this Caucasian centric their version within their world, and you could have a clean slate to use your own mind. The beings we are, without a Bible to tell you, without something to instill, and without religion, without science, and any other form of molding your mind into what they want you to believe. If you tap into nature and the beings we are, and you start tapping into energy, we were bigger on a higher frequency. The more heat is on the planet, the higher the frequency. The more heat is on the planet, the faster things vibrate. The faster things vibrate, the higher the frequency. They call it global warming. But really, we fell in frequency, so we're rising up to a state which we once were already in. So we're within the what am I trying to say? It's like we are within the layers that we fell from. So we're within the shell of the bigger shells we once came from. So we're filling the space of what we already once filled. So it's like if you used to have $1 billion and then you became poor and then you started to build up your money again, you're just refilling what you already had. So it's kind of like we fell from a very high state. They try to paint it as we were savage, but our whole idea of everything is backwards. Our whole idea of what took place on this planet is backwards. It's all his story. We listen to the oppressor's version of what they tell us took place on this planet. The beings who came and snaked their way and killed their way and stole everything and then erected what they wanted on this world and writ their self into everything, and we're listening to their descendants with the same genetics, the same sociopathic genetics, tell us about what took place on this planet. The victors could be evil or good, but either way they're going to paint themselves to be good. If the so-called Nazis won the war, they would have painted themselves. You wouldn't have known they were Nazis in the way you think. Because whoever wins the war gets the pen. So we're just like how they killed Jesus. The real man is Yeshua, which is a black man. And then the same people who killed him, the same establishments, the same things who spoke against him, you listen to them. That's like you listening to Satan tell you about God. Which I mean, Satan is the father of lies and he's very deceptive. So he would probably tell you a very convincing, realistic idea of God, but still. That's like listening to Satan tell you about God. That's how it is when we listen to these oppressors. I mean, even down to the literal, logical, physical idea of the fact that they were our slave masters. Everything they did to my ancestors and us as a group, our species, on every level. And then we're now in a state where we're looking for them to save us, try to make our way in their system, group up and be friendly to them, get acceptance from them, learn from their thought camps, from their ideas of life, group into their sciences, their maths, everything they told us we are. But we come from nature. We are what nature is. They can't even take nature. They can't take the sun. They are uncomfortable just sitting out in nature. They can't take bugs. They can't take any of it. White people attract things like lice on a far higher scale than black people do. I'm being honest. There's black people in the ghetto who don't even know what lice are because black people very rarely get lice. And if they do, it's because they were around. You get what I'm trying to say? And that has to go into the fact of, again, white people are animals. Not literally, but they're animal hybrids. They have animal genetics. Now, they're not literally, and this is what I'm trying to say, to where this is what makes them special. The spark, it's like the thing which makes them different from the animals, they get that little fraction from what we are, fully. What we are. Like a black person fully, especially if they're not mixed at all, because a lot of us got raped. Even the regular black people walking around, they got raped. That's why they're brown. They're not purely like, even though we are all shades, so we used to be different colors. This is where the movie Avatar came from. We would resonate the color of our energy field, our chakras. Wherever chakra you vibrated at, that would vibrate into your neuromelanin, because we have neuromelanin in our skin, which is connected to anything that deals with neuro. Piece of the guy Rashad Jamal. Anything that does with neuro has to do with the brain. Neurochemistry, neuro this, neuro that. So neuromelanin is a way higher form of melanin. Melanin is actually a derivative of neuromelanin. Melanin was spliced from neuromelanin. So when they say we have melanin, no, white people have melanin because animals have melanin, and melanin is to protect you from the UV rays of the sun. We don't need protection. We absorb the sun. We eat the sun. It's plasma energy. We are radiation. Ultraviolet is the color within my crown. So we have neuromelanin, so we can directly communicate with our own skin, with the resonance, with the vibration, with our whole. And so when we used to be on a higher vibration, we would also, our skin, our whole carbon, our neuromelanin would be the color of what we would vibrate at, because music is auditory energy translation, and colors is visual energy translation, but it's all forms of energy, and it's just a different form of translating the energy. You could translate a song into a color because it's all energy. You could see this is why people are super tapped in. They say they can taste, I'm getting this upload right now, but they could taste colors, they could see sound. That's a higher form of perception. Telepathy, telekinesis, all these things that they get inspired by to make their movies on are the God genetics. So this is what I'm trying to say. This form of this body, to them, it's just a physical body. That to these white people and human beings, this is what they are. They're just a physical being that is a low vibrational being within the 3D that is only made to do little physical things. But we are the beings that this body belongs to. That have God genetics can tap into life on way higher levels and have way higher energy. So we could do, because we are God, so we have God genetics. So this form, what these human beings can just do in the physical, we have this form to do all the way higher things within life. So they would call out all these words like telekinesis, telepathy, all these things we can do when we start to activate our God genetics and raise back on a higher frequency. But so yeah, I'm just channeling, but that's not even the intention. I wasn't even trying to get all. The intention of this video was actually just to tap in and talk about how I ate how you know how when I started the video, I was talking about how I ate the, you know, the bullshit I ate earlier. From 4 p.m. is where I'm starting my time. And so, I once again, after hundreds of times now, rise up again, cleanse from the man-made drug food, and set the intention to not eat it, to not go back to it, to try to fight it. Or beyond it, I'm trying to find the right words. Beyond trying to fight it, I set the intention to do my journey, which is fully free myself from what they call food, which is one of the biggest weapons these human beings have engineered for my species and my being within my landing here, to keep me shackled within a lower frequency and untapped to the higher being I am, that I'm supposed to channel within being here. Because I came here, and once I came here, they snatch you up so quick. But there's so many natural abilities that I was just on the brink of, at my whole childhood, so many ways I felt, that if I understood what I was tapped into now, everything would be different. But we don't, because I'm still what I am, so we don't even need to think like that, right? Because belief is everything. Everything comes from thought. Everything comes from thought. Everything comes from thought, and everything was spoken into existence and thought into existence. But so, yeah, I cleanse from this man-made drug food. I set this divine intention to move forward strong, to break this addiction, this attachment, this battle with gluttony, this battle with illusion of everything I've been programmed with, associated with the food. At this point, I've almost basically fully cracked the whole idea of what the food is. I just eat it to eat it, because I ate it. Well, not even, I eat it in a whole different idea of, when I eat it, it's like it's still lingering. So it's like I'm eating it because I never fully stopped eating it. I've cracked it. I've had moments of being free from it, but it's still just the lingering energies that I'm trying to free from. So the reason I'm still eating it is because it's the journey and the process of trying to stop, and everything I was fed into, being led into. Cause I was literally damn near almost, but it basically forced. It was forced upon me when it comes to the food, cause that was like 1, 2, 3. I was a baby. I couldn't really do much. I was barely conscious, so I couldn't really be like no and grab the spoon when they tried to put it in my mouth, or be like, no, I'm not gonna drink the soda. At like 4 years old, I didn't even know what I was drinking. I thought it was Pepsi. I didn't know what Pepsi was. I don't even know what Pepsi was. I still don't know what Pepsi is. Not really. I mean, I do, but not really. We don't know it enough to stop drinking it on a mass scale. Obviously, I don't know it enough to make myself fully have not drunken it ever again. Because even though I stopped drinking it for years, there was a period where I drunk it a little bit here or there, like a year ago. Even though I already understand how horrible soda is, but obviously I don't fully process it. So this is what I'm trying to say, where I've almost cracked it. I basically cracked it, cracked the illusion of the whole idea of what the food is. Because there's an idea of what you think you're in, and then there's the reality of what the food's doing to you, your body, how you feel. But most people ate it their whole life, and you're so drugged. No, first off, it's the fact that you ate it your whole life. So you're in a state of like being beyond like corrupted and drugged out, but it's like it's infused to your being. So it's kind of like you're the being underlying all the effects of all this food you've put into your whole life, and all the energies that come from who you are is like the little bits of energy that can beam through despite all the shit you've been putting in you. And when you start to shed and let go of these layers of this dense food, starting with the meat being the biggest thing that blocks off your connection to source, you then start to get this stronger connection to the being you are, that of wherever you come from beyond this body. And that's the universe, that's source. That's what they call God. But so, You get more connected to that. You get more connected to life. The reason they have us eating meat as the beings we are, gods and goddesses, we are connected to everything around us. We are energy living. Everything is energy. We are like the core point of the planet, like the focal point, like the initiator, like the engine, like the conductor and the engine. So we give life to the nature. We're supposed to be in nature, and we are the reason the whole planet is out of whack is it goes hand in hand. We're out of whack because they pollute the planet, but the planet is so out of whack because we're so out of whack. Our people, what they call Black and Latino people, but really we out in nature are not Black and Latino people. We are this divine nature being that is the same biologically and on a molecular level, on a cellular level. We are the same thing that the trees are, the grasses, the plants are, the flowers. Literally. And we've only had so many pollutants in this to alter our genetics. And this is why this is the biggest thing with all these vaccines they're pushing. I can't even say the word, I was about to say it, but particularly with this whole thing with the lockdown, the biggest thing was we are a whole divine nature being that they grouped into them. They're human beings, these white people, made in our image, that are very recent, that have written themselves into our history. They spread out from the Caucasus Mountains and pulled up on all the different land masses and started fucking raping and ripping into the soil. When I say raping, I don't just mean raping sexually. I mean raping the world, raping the land, raping everything. That energy of just the carnal savage just ripping through, tearing everything, destroying everything, and erecting their world on it and casting all these lies and spells and deception. But we are this being that directly comes out of nature. Before having this title plate of human being and Black Latino placed upon us and any other title they placed upon the beings we are. Because it's not black in our skin, it's carbon. And we are a whole different species. Like, we are a whole different species. Literally, we are our own species that has always existed, that actually descends from the cosmos and comes from all over the whole multiverse. And within this planet, we've descended more and we've fallen into frequency. But we are the descendants of that being we are in the cosmos. And so the beings we are on this planet. We are our own species that is in tune with the planet. This planet is like our own. We are something that was in our own frequency that's supposed to be in our own groove. Everything that nature is what we are. And all this whole world of everything that comes from these humans and being in these cities in the concrete jungle is a momentary artificial reality that is like literally it's all to the side. Because the whole main quest is actually, we got it flipped. We think the main shit is supposed to be whatever this human shit is in these cities. But really, the whole main stream of life is on pause. And we've been in this temporary illusion reality where we're on the bottom of the barrel feeding their little false momentary rule of their world erected on our planet, which is really planet Kai, which they've renamed Earth because Earth is another nickname for the world they come from, which is the planet Nern, which is where Zeus created these human beings in the 6th universe. Because that's the universe we cast Zeus out to. When Zeus wanted to create these human beings on planet Kai, he was casted out, so he went and he still created them. He still did what he wanted to do because he wanted to create a species to praise him. For we were the original beings, and before we didn't even call ourselves God, we were just connected to life, creators from the divine creator. He was a reflection of source. Before he stepped outside of himself, he was one of the highest praised, most highest evolved, most respected forms of our species, members of our species, Zeus, the big-headed scientist. And if he incarnated into planet Kai particularly, he would be what you would call a black man. And the thing I'm trying to connect the dots to and push through this language is that black is really just the highest form of energy, the source of energy, dark matter energy, manifesting into 3D density, which is just slow vibrating energy. So when it slows down and manifests into the solids, we are what you would call a black Latino. And then I'm just a guy with animal genetics that's altering the animal genetics. I just gotta that's why it's a battle with me with the meat too, because the meat affects me a lot more because I have human genetics. And it can throw me out of tune more. I already gotta do more work to basically just retune in with my God side. Not even my God side, just the being I am. I'm just a little bit more out of tune, a little bit more fucked up from all this shit that they've already been pushing on the planet. But I'm my being. I'm us. I'm literally us. Because we aren't the body. My people are not the body. So if you understand anything I'm saying, then it wouldn't even be a thing of I'm not black. I'm us, period. And if you can feel our energy, then you see exactly what I am. That's how everything I am is possible. All the gifts I have, the energy I am, the creator I am, everything about Ionce, that's because I'm the soul. I'm what's in all of black and Latino people. Whether they're aware of it or not. Not even what's in them, what they are. Because what's in them, what's in us is the soul. I mean, no, I fucked up. See, that guy, it's so easy to make. What's in us is the spirit. Because we are the soul. That's what that's where everything originates from. That's the whole point of everything I'm saying emanates and starts from getting that down packed. So-called black and Latino people are the soul that creates this avatar, which is the God physique. We are energy manifesting itself. One word they call us is God, but we are the universe. And there's a God of God, which is Source, Mother Universe, the cosmic womb. The divine mind we all emanate from. Satan, his real name is Zeus, a soul. And because he's a soul, when he creates a body, he's a, quote, black man. But he's a soul, Zeus, Satan, that story was true. That idea of one of our brothers, and that's why it resonates with our people so much. Satan, the trickster. The one who turned against his people. The original fault, the original one to turn against. And then Zeus, through his own hatred, through his fall, through the energy of his turn on Source, and everything he embodied with his ego, with that energy, he manifests that into his creation of his human being species, the white man. And I'm not saying all white people are evil, but their essence is. They were made within the intention to destroy his own species. Human beings were made with the intention to destroy the species they were made in the image of. They were made with energies of hatred, envy, jealousy, pride, ego, deception. All these lower energies, these fallen gods. And all these different genetics that were spliced with of all these animals that were all aggressive and warlike. So, so-called white people are human beings are literally like they're not even literally like, they literally are a science project. They're a science experiment. They aren't a natural creation within the natural flow of life created from the cosmos, a manifestation of life. They're beings created by life. Because we are life, and we are created by the universe, and almost all beings are created by life itself organically, manifesting in whatever way it does. But human beings were created within life, by life, in an artificial way, with a nasty negative intention, a nasty energy, a spiteful energy, an intention to destroy their own, a being who created them with the intention to destroy his own people and praise him and all the fallen gods who sided with him. That's why he said, let us make man in our image, because He was talking about all the fallen gods he was with when he was making these human beings in the science lab. They literally talk about Zeus in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the newest Guardians of the Galaxy movie, where they have the literally the black dude, who's like this head scientist, who's like, who exists in a whole part of the galaxy, who has a whole galaxy he rules, and does all this artificial genetic science shit where he creates all these species in the galaxy that the Guardians of the Galaxy were fighting and trying to free from him, and he has people praise him like a god. Literally that whole, like they put that, I have to rewatch that movie because they just put that shit out there real quick, just right in your face, zoom, just zoom, real quick. And it's funny because that movie came after people started calling out Zeus and all these energies and the Anunnaki, because there's a timeline of movies of how they look before 2020 and how they look after 2020 once it is that truth started getting exposed. Once people start talking about these things, they'll then put it in movies in a certain way. That's why movies like They Clone Tyrone came out. And all these super weird mindfuck movies. It's like they're playing in your face. Well, not even like they are, but at the same time, they gotta show you the truth in some way, shape, or form. So they'll put it in their medium of what they call TV shows and movies, because at least if they put it there, most of y'all won't even actually absorb it or actually watch it because you just think it's a movie. Meanwhile, the person making the movie can be inspired by anything they're creating that movie by. It's a movie being created by a person. So logically think of the fact of, just like if you're creating, you could create anything and it could be like, there's no limiting factor when it goes to what's really being motivated to fuel the energy of what's creating this thing. So a movie isn't even a movie of what we think it is. A movie is just a rehashing of things that are inspired by real life. Because think about it, all these movies, it's like it all exists within things that really exist within real life, because they never create anything new. They talk about things like elves. Elves have been talked about for thousands of years. And one shit, so it has to be inspired. Dragons. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? It's like they're pulling from the collective subconscious thought bank of what already exists within life. They're not creating a whole new idea of a being, because these human beings can't create. Only blacks, Latinos can create. And most of us are in a fallen frequency, untapped from ourselves. So we barely even are alive our own self and create for our own self, let alone to create new ideas for the planet. But we are the real creators as souls. So we're the only beings that can create from scratch. These human beings, they're inspired. So they make movies like Percy Jackson and The Lightning Thief. And it has all these truths within it. Or they make movies like Don't Look Up, which has nothing to do with fantasy or sci-fi, but it was a movie all about the real state of how the political shit and all types of weird shit really is, with like rich people and just corrupt shit and just weird dumb shit and just weird idea. It's way deeper than the words I just said, political and all that shit. And that's how, when I speak within these language words within their English, I am the thought. I am within my, even calling it the thought takes away from what I am in my mind. Before I speak in these words, I am what I am within what they would call thought or imagination. And imagination is God. Because that's the mind. That's the divine mind that's coming from God. Imagination literally is God, right? Because that's even when I call it imagination, that's again taking away from the real essence of what it is. So trying to speak through their words, when I say things like political or this or that about the movie like Don't Look Up, what I'm trying to say is it's really just something, another form of truth and a whole deep thing, which is on a different level of being within their physical 3D world more so. But telling you truths about all types of different shit. I don't know. All these movies tell you truths about different shit. And they're just inspired by shit in real life because they can't create. These human beings cannot create. They can just rehash the ideas of what they see around them. Or even if they don't know it, they're getting the ideas from what really exists in life already. So even the human beings who are just think they're creating a random movie. I'm going to think up this movie about this character who starts to tap into these divine abilities and blah, 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 blah. And it's just they're pulling from what really exists in life, whether they know it or not. And they're just talking about us, my species, and what we come from. But so, yeah. Again, I'm just channeling. I'm flowing. It's 8:03 now. This video has been going for 35 minutes. I'm now 4 hours clean. It's literally like deeper than a drug. Again, you know what I said when I say these words, it takes away from what our overall way bigger pictures of what I be trying to paint. What I'm trying to say with a drug is just drugs are the closest thing I can pull to express the level of whole body, minds altering effects that these foods do. Because actually, what I try to say is way deeper than a drug. I think these foods are way deeper than a drug. They're beyond what a drug is. A drug is one specific man-made concoction, which isn't even really what food is. A food is food. Food is particularly food, but food is this thing of, basically, it's like everything is energy. So what they call eating is just a form of consuming energy. When you watch things on your phone, you're visually absorbing energy. All these things are picking up energy. What you listen to, you're picking up energy. Who you're around, you're picking up their energy. What you go around, you're picking up the energy. What you wear, that's becoming your energy. What you eat, what you quote unquote eat, is really just you taking on this whole thing into your body. So you're becoming that, literally, right? And so all food is a combination of whatever they're putting in it. And it could be anything of what they're putting in it. And what these human beings and other entities within who shapeshift in the human being white form make these foods for, 99% of all these human-made foods or just man-made foods are made within the intention of a negative intention to just keep you within a low consciousness, keep you sick, filled with toxins, chemicals, and just basically altering the being you are. It's a science experiment to alter the beings we are that came out of nature. So we're all grouped together, so they release it to all of us universally. So they're human beings, they're lower class human beings who exist alongside of us, who really don't control shit. They'll eat the food too, and they'll work the jobs too, and they'll do the things too, and that feeds the illusion for my species. Because they tell us we're all one. And we see them and we think everything's cool. The world's just what it is, the program that's running outside. You realize that's a whole program, right? Every day, every single day at the same exact times. You know exactly when the cars are going to come out. You know exactly when the cars are going to come out. You know exactly what... It's so much a program that right now I can look up if it's going to rain on January 10th. No, you get what I'm trying to say? I can look up what's going to happen in 50 days or on March or April and I can look up when for it's going to be Easter. It's like a precondition. No, you get what I'm saying? It's like a movie. It's all set up. Like literally the whole it's a whole script. They already got it pre-written. Like they already got it. Like you get what I'm trying to say? It's like when you go up to a concert or a play or one of those things at school, and they hand you the little timetable where they say at 4 o'clock they're going to do this, at 4:30 they're going to do this song, at 5 they're going to do this song, and so they already know what they're going to do, and then when that time comes, they carry out what they're told to do. That's like the whole world. And we're within their system, feeding the energy of this world, this system. We are sparks of life, every single one of us, my species. sources. We're all our own sources, giving energy to everything around us because we are souls. So we're pulled out of nature with all this energy, creators, and we are all generators that are feeding everything around us that they're pulling into their cities, that they've pulled into their cities. And then they feed us with all these beliefs and keep us in this fear state and alive that being we are, to where we start, because we start to change what we are through our belief too. So they tell us we're these things called a human being, that's what they are, and group us in with them. They feed us this illusion of death. They tell us we need to eat this food. They surround us with all this technology nowadays, because technology is a new invention for the most part when it comes to phones. And they have us wear all these clothes, this cloth, which restricts us because we're electricity, and electricity is just another form of energy which feeds us, which surges through the planet. A current of energy. Electricity is just a word they placed upon whatever, a form of energy which we are, which powers everything. We are power, we are energy. Before they pulled the electricity to power their inventions for the TVs and for all their man-made inventions, we are the thing which powers through the electricity that feeds us. We are divine nature beings, literally. Nature is our natural habitat. We literally metamorphosize in nature and become the full being we are. If we didn't have all these pollutants, these chemicals, all these toxins, they're literally polluting and toxifying and killing the whole planet. And we are like a walking portion of the planet, a whole walking being of the planet, walking nature. We change, mold, and morph with the planet, the state of the planet. Everything they fill us with. We are highly receptive, highly morphic, highly adaptive. So we change and morph and evolve and adapt based upon everything we're fed and around. And believe, and all the thoughts we believe, and everything we believe we are. So our potential is infinite. And we've been molded into the state we are through everything we've been placed around, through living around these human beings and being taken out of nature and being growing up in these cities and towns and shit. And eating all their man-made food and all this bullshit. And having all our energy harvested. We're in a state where we're constantly externalizing our energy. Most of us can't even bear to sit still, let alone stop talking, sit still and connect to the source within you. Most of us don't even tune in with the voice in our head, let alone, like, I am the voice in my head. People are in different states of consciousness, but to be honest, I think all Black and Latino people, I never really talked or went into it deeply, but I think we're all what I am. And there's some human beings like my mom who, because they're at varying levels of being connected to the source we are. And the coolest human beings are always the ones who are around us the most, because they're being fed the energy of source within physical form that comes through us to them. Because they're already kind of like with the karma of being having so much against source and against life. So they kind of have to like retune into life on a heavy level. But so some human beings do have that voice. What I'm saying is, when I used to think we're all human beings and I would just, absorb anything I was told and think in a logical way, one of the things that I came across was that the fact that some people don't even have a voice in their head. Or they're at different states of consciousness. Like they're just kind of like a more childlike, animalistic state of consciousness. They're kind of like, if I'm the being that's aware and the creator, they're kind of like the creation. Like a flip side of consciousness, like the being that's just absorbing everything and doesn't really know shit. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? It's like different levels of awareness. But so now that I think about it, I really think that, one, a lot of these beings are not even human beings, let alone what human beings are, now that we're understanding what we all are. Because human beings are their own thing. My people are Anunnaki gods and goddesses, and then there's a whole group of beings that are just clones, shapeshifters, all types of shit. And then it gets deep because you would think that something like a clone isn't even possible, but at the same time, for decades now, they've been doing all types of genetic weird shit within science in their labs and all types of shit, like making clone sheep, and everything they tell you is a surface level what they tell you. So you really think they haven't been doing all types of weird shit? And then they make all these movies about all this sci-fi shit because they've really been doing it. Where do you think they get the idea from? But so we are literally divine nature beings. We are walking nature, my people, my species. You feel me? And I think all of us, my people, not even I think, we are the voice in our head. We are the same consciousness I am, because we are the soul. You feel me? Now, some of these human beings and just beings in general, they might not be that voice in their head. They might be a lower form of consciousness to where they aren't connected to their imagination or even have an imagination, or they can't picture stuff. Or, you get what I'm saying? Like what I am, I'm starting to realize what we are. We aren't just a particular form of life. We're the first expression of life that went and created everything else. All the other species, all these different forms of life. But we are the first and highest and purest form of life. The being we are, everything we are. We are life itself. So the being I am, before being told it was a human being, and just having this body, this form, everything it is, and this mind, and what they call imagination, and the ability to create, is literally God itself. It's this divine being. I'm this super divine being. Now within this physical world and everything they surround me with, and all these lower negative energies, they have all this lower thing, which you would call sin, and all this lower shit to try to corrupt your being and pull you away, especially from everything we are too. So it's a battle on all types of levels. You feel me? But we are connected to source, and everything comes from what we are. So we can overpower anything. We could override anything and set our intention through anything. You feel me? So hold on, let me take this hit. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go use the bathroom, but yeah, just let everything I said sit in your mind type shit. Alright, yo, I'm back. Peace. But so, yeah. Our minds have been molded by their world. These human beings living around them. Within their low vibration. They're a low vibrating being that operates from a physical, lesser ability, lesser connection of life. Majority of what they have was given to them by us anyway. This is why the alphabet is that. It's the alpha beta, because we were the alphas, they were the beta. We gave them language. We gave them almost everything they have when it comes to a civilization sense. And we evolved their being up to a point of looking like us as much as they even do. Because in their much purer form when they first came on the planet, they resembled a lot more of the animals they're spliced with. So it was a lot more of, you feel me? It's not as, what can I say? Convincing now because we're so used to seeing them up to the point they came to as civilized as they are. But they've even just now, and within their current generations, have become a lot less savage, and their behaviors and their genetic behaviors and their what they've done overall, like their animal tendencies, their savage tendencies, like their carnal tendencies, have been a lot more watered down. But a lot of them still have that within them. A lot of them aren't as hateful and racist as they used to be, but a lot of them still are. They just hide it well. But it's not even racism. It's like we are literally two different species. Now we meet in the middle of the medium of all speaking the same language they gave to us, thinking within the same thoughts. We're a collective conscious. So we're all one, every being on this planet, the human beings even. So even the white people on the collective conscious scale, they're spirit. They're not their body either. They're spirit. They're energy too. But a lot of them are evil spirits or low vibrational spirits because that's just what can be receptive to the energies that exist within their avatar. Because again, the nature they were created within by Zeus, who created them to destroy his own species, our own fallen brother, who is carbonated. Because again, we're gonna have to, just like they instilled their rhetoric in our brains in school, we're gonna have to keep instilling this shit of what the truth is on a much higher scale, because it's a lot more information too. So we're especially gonna have to repeat a lot. What's in our skin is carbon, dark matter, energy itself. Everything is energy. So we are before the physical. So when we manifest into this physical, we have carbon in our skin, neuromelanin. You could feel the life coming off of a so-called black person. You just don't know what that feeling is, but you feel it no matter what. You feel it. You literally feel it. Even through a screen. Even through a screen. They can take over the whole TV show. The whole TV show. In fact, almost every single TV show and movie will have one black... Not almost. Every single one. It's impossible. Because and we will be the main thing that's generating the possibility of that. Little do you know, everything emanates from what we are. Everything. We are the thing observing everything and bringing it into existence. Matter doesn't take form until we see it. Literally. We tell matter what to do. We tell energy what to do. We are the source of energy. These white people, these human beings were made within life by us. We are life itself. So this is what I mean by these human beings. These white people are a low vibrational physical being that cannot do even a fraction of 1% of everything we're able to do. They can only hope and wish and aspire to be what we are. And that's really what racism comes from. And they could be like us. We wanted them to be. They're cousins. They were made by our fallen brother. Their family. On a soul level, on a spiritual level, on an ancient level. So this is why when they came to our planet, we pitied them and we told them all these things that was just used against us. We didn't even understand the nature they operate in to then snake us. Like we were in a much pure... When you're in a pure being, picture a child. When you're in a high frequency and you never experience lies, or you never experience being like... For example, a child that hasn't experienced a corrupt world, they move in a pure way. When you're in a truly pure frequency and you haven't achieved that pure frequency after being in a low frequency, because it's one thing to already be around all this shit and then you find yourself already built up a high frequency to where you're then fortified and safe and protected, or rather you fought against all this shit that's on a lower frequency and you kind of have a protection to it. That's one thing. But if you're in a true pure frequency before experiencing a low frequency and you never even knew what it was, then this is why we were so open to them. They were made by our fallen brother. They came to our planet through portals in the Caucasus Mountains. They were made in our form, but when they first came, they were covered in fur and walked on all fours. They fucked their own animals. They slaughtered each other. They raped each other. They did animal shit. They barely were even conscious. And the most evolved of them, like the Caesars and the Planet of the Apes, that's where they get the idea from, where some of them were the smartest so they can do a little bit more. That's the ones that we would tell how to plant, how to use the tools, how to speak the language. And we were molding them to be a lot more like us, and we were trying to give them a soul. But they were made in a science lab. An artificial Frankenstein being. That's literally where the story of Frankenstein comes from. Except Dr. Frankenstein wasn't no white guy. But the idea of that was inspired. There's so many different stories. This is the idea of what I'm saying when I tell you how all these movies and the energies, that's just how they rehash the same stories in a different religion. Frankenstein, there's many different movies that tell that same story, and Frankenstein is just one version of it. There's probably another one I can think of if I want to think about it. But the idea of Frankenstein is what white people are. And they're in the origin of them. Like the origin of what they come from. Because they were made by our fallen brother, Zeus. And the idea of the mad scientist, the original mad scientist is Zeus, Yakub. Because in the Bible, Jacob, just like how they say there was no J for Jesus, so they're like, how was his name Jesus? That same shit, because they writ their self into our history to begin with, so there wasn't even no BCs in the way they try to paint it, at least with white people being here, right? And the world didn't even look like that because, again, we fell in frequency to be in this low form, to live in the way that they live. So once you go back 300 years and beyond, it gets very nature. Very, very, very nature, very mystic, very divine. It's nothing like you think it was. And it was all carbon. It was all quote-unquote black people. All. Because that's what I'm trying to get when it comes to this form belonging to us. We are life itself. So there was no BCs in the way they even trying to paint it. But when you go to, when they said the Bible was supposed to take place, there was no J in their languages. Let them tell it. Because language even exists in a way that, because again, it doesn't go as back as, that was all about 300 to 400 years ago. With like the time, we know the ancient Egypt and Romans and Greek, yeah, that was like 400 years ago. No, like for real. That's why it's all still here. This is why they just now are taking control of the world. If they've been here so long, why are they just now spreading out? Why is it that they just now got their grip on the planet now, as much as they make it seem like there's such this big bad monster? They really barely now got a hold on anything, and they barely now can get anything to function. It's all a toxic house of cards that's waiting to blow up on itself. That really was the governments, countries, all this shit was not set up as an actual way of life for any beings that were within it to actually prosper and grow. It's actually a disguised entity that said that you think is a country to live within, but really on the flip side is really a corporation designed to drain the resources of the planet and just leave the planet. Like they're foreign to the planet. Like the beings that run, because I've been talking about human beings a lot, but the beings that run the planet, along with Zeus, because Zeus is a soul. We are souls. This is one form. This is our original avatar, the god physique. But Zeus, he fell in frequency, right? There were fallen gods he took with him, which God is a form they place upon our being when we manifest. But we are souls. We are creators, a piece of the divine creator, a piece of universe, many universes, our own, we are gods from God. So, on a soul level, we can become anything. So, these beings that fell in frequency along with Zeus, a lot of them became what you would call a draconian reptilian, which is its own extraterrestrial race outside of that being. Outside of the fallen gods that take that form, that's its own being, its own species. But a lot of the gods or souls that fell in frequency took a lot of these low vibrational entities. Like it took form of lower vibrational entities on a lower frequency. Or different forms. And a lot of them still just look like they're in the God physique, like they're just soul, consciousness, or just energy, or the being there. But so, hold on, I'm piecing my thoughts together. I'm keeping everything in my center. I'm trying to not lose my train of thought. So, these human beings are literally animal hybrids with a drop of our blood, with a spirit in their body. A spirit is electricity. You know how you can... So look. I'm getting deep uploads right now. Okay, electricity. You can use electricity to turn things on. Electricity powers your whole TV to create a whole reality in the TV. It brings the TV to life. Everything is alive, right? If you really tune in, you will realize that the TV is alive. The movie you're watching is alive. When you watch a movie, it's magic, it's time travel. It's a portal. We don't even question life at all. This is how unconscious people are. You're looking at this thing. You don't even question the tools and the things and everything around you use. Just like we don't question what we put in our mouth. We use these TVs and these phones every day, but we don't question what the internet is and what exists within that phone and what the cloud is being pulled. What the fuck is the cloud? That's why it's not really the internet, it's the ethernet. My mom would be like, you're crazy when I said the air is alive. I came from the air. You don't even know what air is. Air is life. Air is another word for ether, ashe. I'm crazy. Meanwhile, they literally create a whole pocket dimension called the internet through the ether. I'm crazy while I'm crazy. Meanwhile, the thing you're calling me crazy for talking about is killing you. When it goes to everything you're around that's draining the life around you, making you depressed, and then eating this bullshit food, which is the main shit I talk about. So it'll be a reality of while you're looking at me talk, and I'll be susceptible to eating the bullshit, but I'm just calling it out while existing within the reality and trying to break free from it. But the fact that I eat it kind of like pulls away from the message, or makes it to where it pulls away from the energy. But still, the energy and the intention and the truth is still the same. But so it's like you'll be fighting me to then turn your head away from me to put this thing in your mouth that's killing your body and doing the truth of what it is, no matter if you want to be aware of it or not. Bleach is bleach. Like, you can't change what bleach is. I use that example as a way to say a rock is a rock. A rock is going to be hard, and if you hit it, it's going to be super hard and hurt your hand. So what's in the food is what's in the food. It's going to do what it is. It's not what you think the food is. It's what it's made of. And most people don't even look into what the food is made of. So if I actually start to look into what we're eating, and you just don't even care to, and then from an ego state, you'll do that thing people do to where they want to act like they know things and think they know things that they don't actually know to their own detriment. Okay, that's only hurting you. And I don't know why I care so much. But I do. But I'll be crazy for literally tapping into things that break everything we're told for life, and through that, then not even wanting to listen to the bullshit of all these things that come from what they're trying to tell me. If sure, when I'm around y'all within this life, I might need to get money and fuel this system and fuel things within this world. But if I am my own being that when I stop eating food and stop doing all these things that they say I need, not only do I not need, it's actually poisoning me, making me feel horrible, literally taking away from my life, killing me, robbing my energy. And when I go in nature, I start to literally be beyond empowered, get full of life, tap into the divine being I am, take my power, literally feel way beyond alive. And then through that, so it's like, I'm within a reality to where most of this shit is addictions and lower vibrational shackles pulling me down to this reality I've been programmed into and I'm so used to. And because I'm on such a low energy with my energy robbed from me, I have to build up energy to start taking my energy back and pull away from all these lower vibrational things and this external reality that pull my energy from me, like the phone and technology and all these things that will keep you within a reality where your energy is outside of you. And it's a thing where you have to rise up from it. But once we start to rise up from it, then it's like you don't even gotta look back. It's a thing of you have to build up momentum. It takes a while to start to make the ball move, but once the ball moves, it starts to all spin faster. And once it starts spinning fast, and then it gets faster, and so it gets easy. It gets way easier to move once you're already moving. But I'm saying to get yourself to move is going to take the most energy. So when you're in a low vibrational energy, like the 3D, through eating all this meat, which makes you the most solid, most physical, if you are a soul that is higher energy within a physical body, then your mind and everything you feel are things that are not the physical. The physical would be boring as fuck. The physical is literally just the things you touch. But everything that is fueling life, that makes life feel good, you are getting from what they call God. Even these human beings are connected from the same consciousness we are. So everything they feel, everything we are comes from the source of life. So everything we feel is something that can't even be touched, which is all energy. So I'm trying to say that we are the energy within life, that within these bodies, we are the energy within it. So when you rise up from a 3D, from a lower vibrational energy, it's gonna take in the beginning. That's where you're in. You got all these things feeding on your energy, all these lower vibrational thought forms, all these lower vibrational entities and beings that manifest in the form of depression, and these lower vibrational energies that feed on your aura and keep you in this low vibrational energy where they're feeding on you. But when you take all your energy back and you're rising up and you start to, then it's like you once you call all your energy into you and then you start to build up your life force and then you raise up from the 3D. Once you raise up, then it's like there's way more above just this 3D and just the little energy of what it takes to start to raise up. And this is just like the first chapter, and then it's like a million chapters beyond this. It's like what exists within this low vibrational world that you got to free from. Within the other, everything else beyond that, it's like there's so much beyond everything within everything. And so it's like, for example, even when it goes to, okay, so we got 7 chakras, but then after you get from 7 chakras, there's like 144 chakras within your higher astral bodies. It's like the same energy with like when you rise up from the 3D and you're rising up to higher dimensions and higher energies and higher vibrations. In the beginning, you might have operated from a state of in a super low vibrational carnal energy of thinking you were a body, thinking you were your face, thinking you were the name you were given, operating within the 3D world and everything you thought around you. Then you start to tap into what's within, tap into yourself, the higher truths of life, tap into higher energies, and you start to build up and raise up from that. And then you would think, oh, it's your horizons get bigger and bigger. It's like when you beat this level, you then realize there's 20 more levels, but it isn't even levels in the way of that. But it's like, you get what I'm trying to say? But so it gets deeper and 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 deeper in a beautiful way, in an awesome way, in a very interesting way. Everything is infinite. But so, because everything is energy, and if you truly understand everything is energy, then everything around us is what energy chose to become. And energy can be anything of anything. Everything is energy. And I am living energy. But when I say it like that, it makes it look like I sprung from life. But life sprung from I. I am energy. And that's why everything is energy. Everything is conscious. Everything is alive. Everything is a reflection of you. Ashe. It is now 8:39, almost 9 o'clock, which will now be 5 hours. We've been going for an hour and 10 on the video tip. You feel me? Or it feels good to be channeling, to be tapping in, to be doing my soul mission. I was holding back for a little bit. I'm trying to find a balance of doing my internal work, but then also, because it's easy when I externalize my energy or do anything outside of myself to then have an energy work through that to feed on my energy and then start to grasp on me and pull me outside of my center. Like anytime I start to feed the external environment, it can then be used in to be malformed into a negative reality or a way to feast on my energy if I do not stay within my center and use it within divine intention. So if I'm in the wrong state and I am in a state where I feel like I am just lost within what I'm talking about, or rather, not when I say lost within the talking, I'm saying it feels like the talking is controlling me. Like I have to talk, or I'm trying to gain an energy through doing something outside myself because it feels like my energy's been drained. So I'm trying to pull my energy from the outside environment by doing things within that outside environment. This is why I would do things like freestyle and rap as well. But that would be just a straight up spirit that would like give me a false inspiration to pull my energy. Because literally every time we talk, and then when I do it to that high of a level for a freestyle where I'm like doing all that movement and all that high and like a straining of thought, of like straining my energy to think, that level, it's like you're giving everything is life force. So I can feel my life force seeping. The more tapped into myself, the more I could feel the subtle shifts of what everything does to I. And I could feel how clear I feel. It's like literally a matter of becoming in a clear state. So when I remove all these foods from me and I'm just like drinking water or not even drinking water, I'm just here. It's like I'm in a state where I'm actually feeling myself without all these things within I altering my being. But so I can feel all these subtle shifts of everything that affects I's energy when I take it on or open my being to it. And on a deeper level, I can feel my life force seep in when I talk, especially when I talk to other people. And but there's also a level to it to where when I'm feeding my energy into a higher purpose or something that resonates, it's like when I do it within the right energy, it actually feeds I back. It's like it's like a reciprocative or boomerang effect, or it's like what I give, I receive, right? It's like when you plant a plant, it's like you'll be giving all that energy, and then it'll give back this massive bounty of like this massive harvest of like a vegetable or something, right? And it's all the energy you poured into that living being, which then creates a materialization of solid energy for you to feast upon, to absorb within your being for its whole energy, which would manifest in the form of an apple or an orange or a zucchini or spinach or kale. You feel me? Um, um, Hold up, I'm tuning into my train of thought again. I'm trying to get my train of thought. I was saying everything is energy, right? So yeah, I was saying how I can feel how my life force. Oh yeah, I was saying when I give, I receive. So when I do it in the right way, I can actually feel not drained. I feel like it's feeding me. Like when I'm doing this, when I'm doing like something, when I start to channel truths and tap into my higher purpose, and make these videos where I'm giving good energy to reflections that actually feed them and help their reality. So I get what I give. It's like I'm giving value, so I get value. I'm giving things with a real energy that have a real meaning. I get that back. But I'm saying I can feel how my life force drains, especially when I'm around people who are not on a high vibration, or who are just on a lower vibration, or just in general. And especially if I let someone touch me, like touch my hand or something, like I could just feel the shifts. But so life force is an energy of life, and an energy we naturally generate and create as souls. Cosmic vibratory energy. You're always building up life force. You just got all these things that are constantly draining it from you. This is why the moment you sit alone and you're by yourself, you start to just build up all this energy. The moment you do the right things, most people are always constantly, day by day, choosing to always repeat the same thing, which is keeping them within a toxified state. Take it as a drug addict who every single day for years chooses to keep drinking alcohol or do that thing over. The moment they stop doing it, all it takes is for them to stop. They instantly cleanse it out. They start to get filled with life again. That goes with anything else. Because we're a soul. And especially if you're a soul, if you're a black or Latino. That's what I'm saying. It's like as the energy of the soul, there's many things that depict the soul, but the soul is that being that evolves no matter what, that can never truly be destroyed. So when it goes like these video games, the idea of a video game where we just keep respawning and we beat the boss, and it's like we just evolve and get all these traits and all these powers and all these attributes, that's the soul. We're connected to everything, so all truth exists within the soul, and we will always, unless it's our own choosing to fall within frequency or fight against ourselves or not want to ever truly beat what we're fighting against, in the quote unquote end of it all, of whatever we're facing as a soul, we will always learn the thing we need within the experience we're within to evolve and grow from that experience. No matter what, like in the end of whatever we're within, we will always grow from it. That's why they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And if energy can never die or be destroyed, I mean, if energy wasn't created or destroyed, but really energy created ourselves. But if energy can never die, then let's just say I'm a very formidable opponent. And this is why they know their time is coming. For we are the planet itself. We are the planet speaking. They look in our eye and they see the everything that they're trying to run from, and not in a fear way. Just life itself, even having to feel empathy. They look at us and they look at everything, and it's just they're trying to numb. A lot of these, they're trying to numb from this stuff. Even when they look at like a physical human being level, like these elites, these white human being elites, if they're not trying to numb themselves, they're completely corrupted, evil, and sick, and have no actual life within them, and do the most foul, horrendous shit because they have no love. Like, they don't know what love is. They never felt good things within life. Like, trust me, you don't actually want to be most of these people you see in this world. The real energy of life comes from what we are already. Feeling life. Being alive. We have more than almost all the celebrities. Now, the real, what's the word I'm looking for? Is when the real awesome thing, or the real thing, is when you can be the soul and keep yourself, but then have all the abundance of a celebrity, but not by doing what these celebrities do. But this is why they make it so hard. There's very few of us who can do that. Which is why almost all the time, whenever we start getting in a position to where we can help the world and help our people, almost none of them ever do. Because to be in that position, they have to bend the knee. They only give you that position if you're willing to fit within the system, to be a role within their system, to keep their system going. You need to be the reason they have you be a Tom Brady is because a Tom Brady is something that exists within football to keep everyone watching football, to keep the world going. You get what I'm trying to say? They're going to give you that position if you're willing to just continue the narrative that's numbing the masses within a low vibrational frequency. But I'm saying the real thing is when you could be a real energy, like your real soul, without being their strings attached to you, your own independent being, and then gain all that abundance and use it however you want to use it. And everything is energy, and money is just a form of energy. Once you truly master yourself on all levels and master this physical density, you master this 3D, and you master just living within this, this form of, then it is that you'll naturally be abundant in things that they will call money, because that's just a form of energy. It will attract it to you in different forms. Because what I'm trying to say is, being successful within the physical realm as a soul, that's just one level of victory. That's like one level of what am I trying to say? It's like one way of one way of mastery. One part of the puzzle of many different things. Because we exist within the physical alongside of all the different realms and dimensions we live within. So when you have the physical resources, that allows you the foundation to build up to fuel everything else you want to do as well. You feel me? It's like you could build up from the physical to channel up into higher realms through what exists within the physical and what you build here in the physical. So you can shape your physical reality and then match it within your higher vibrational realities within different realms of density. When you come back here, you're changing your physical reality to like a lot more of a higher vibration. You get what I'm trying to say? When it is that you master yourself on this physical level to channel the abundance you need, that you think you need. But word. But yeah, I'm truly cleansing from this man-made drug food. I'm setting this divine intention. I'm moving forward strong. This man-made drug food is a deep-ass addiction. It's addictive as fuck. Beyond addictive. But to be honest, it's not addictive because I'm not going to give it power by giving it all that energy and saying those words. I'm just acknowledging the battle it's been trying to break free from it. When you're in this reality, eating the food, you're in this reality. It's more so just a matter of breaking free from it. Once you cleanse from it and you go a few days of not eating it, then it's like, okay, you're good. But it's like when you're in it, it's like it can take a while to get it off of you. It can be a matter of you just keep relapsing, keep recycling and rehashing the same energy of 2 days fasting and you eat it again, and then 2 days again fasting, you eat it again, you never fully cleanse. It can be easy to get stuck in that. But nah, I'm cleansing from this man-made drug food fully. I'm tapping into my higher self. I'm activating the God I am, the Anunnaki God I am, the divine nature being I am. I'm tuning into nature. I don't even need to eat, period, let alone eating this man-made drug food. But so yeah, I'm about to hit this bowl. I gotta use the bathroom again. You feel me? I don't know how much more storage I have, but I haven't got hit with a notification saying I'm running out. So I'm gonna go for a little bit longer. It's been about an hour, and it's an hour and 24 right now. It's about to hit an hour and 30. We're at 8:53 p.m. So we're about to hit 9 o'clock. So we tapping in, yo. I'm gonna be posting this to the Eons of Truth, cause I got 2 channels. Another one called Eon I Am. I was tongue tied. Eon I Am. That's the other channel. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that yet. I think it's just gonna be a personal channel. I just post whatever I want on a more personal level, just talking about, like, you know, things outside of, like, when I'm on the super high frequency. Because this channel, Eons of Truth, is like uh uh um a portal and medium and headquarters and collective camp to gather to channel this high vibration of energy of the cosmos into this realm. I'm channeling the divine, the source, the cosmos, the high vibrational cosmos, the truth, a portal for truth, a manifestation is physical of something for the good, like a headquarters for the good, for high vibrational beings. There's so many words for it, and I'm speaking while having to use the bathroom, so I'm kind of like rushing through my words. But let me take a hit, and I'm gonna go do that so I can come back. But yeah. Earlier I took a piss. About to go take a shit. Because speaking of this man-made drug food, I'm cleansing out. I can feel it. And fuck TMI. We all have bodily and functions. We're all within the same body. We need to break this mirror dividing us. Where we be acting like we're not all living the same life. We be in the same body, living through the same life, and try to hide it from each other within this ego. Like, bro, that's the thing that be disconnecting us from each other. We gotta connect with each other, fam. Stop acting so cooler than thou. Too cool for school. People be trying to distance from each other and act like they're above each other and shit. Nah. We're all one. Moving within a unified collective movement. Now, those who don't want to move with us, that's your free will. You don't gotta move with us, I'm just saying. We're all family. But let me go use the bathroom, you feel me? I'll be right back. I gotta cleanse this shit. Flush this shit out, you feel me? Damn, I didn't even press pause. My bad. Or just sitting here, nothing on. But so, yeah, I forgot the last thing I was saying. But yeah, I was saying how this channel, Eons of Truth, apart from the other channel I made, which is going to be like a more personal channel, I guess. Because I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I just made it and called it Eon I Am. But this is my main channel. And this is a channel that is a platform that will be at headquarters, calling all beings of high vibration on planet Kai, and just in general. It's going to be a beacon, calling all beings that resonate to this high frequency, looking for truth and to heal themselves and to tap in and gain this high vibrational information and just that resonate with the frequency. And this is just, through it, I'm going to be channeling a high frequency, erecting so many things, building so many things, channeling so many energies into this planet. I'm going to be using this to then spread out into so many other things as well. And just it's going to be a divine network that's then going to blossom and bloom into so many things that manifest in this physical. I want to erect a whole... There's not even words for what I want to do. We're just going to see it. It's in my thought and I'm going to manifest it. But I want to heal the world. I want to raise the vibration of the planet. Rebuild our divine, high vibrational civilization. Our highly advanced civilization. Start to rebuild it. Raise up to those higher dimensions we come from. You feel I? And that starts with breaking free from this man-made drug food, which is a form of this low vibrational 3D density and these lower densities within the form of the solids. Because you're eating this low vibrational solids, how do you expect to ever rise up into higher densities if you're eating this thing that exists within this lower density that keeps you stuck within the lower density? A manifestation of the lower density that you're eating. But yeah. I move forward with this divine intention. I break free from this man-made drug food. It is November 30th, once again, Sunday. Now, 9:02 p.m. So it's been 5 hours now. That's inside of last 8, this man-made drug food. And so, I see this man-made food as what it is. Something designed to literally kill my being, destroy my being, disconnect I from source. It's highly addictive. When I eat it, I'm not eating it from any need. I'm eating it from an illusion state, duping my being. Because once I eat it, I get duped out and I'm the one robbed. Beyond robbed, every time. It's an artificial attraction to it, fueled by lower vibrational cravings and lower vibrational energies from my sacral chakra, unbalanced sacral chakra energy, unbalanced root chakra and solar plexus chakra energies, parasites within my gut, lower entities that feed on my being within a low state that the food creates, all it, and I rebuke it all, I shun it all. I move forward within truth, within divine energy, to cast off all these lower vibrational energies and gluttony, and break free from this lower vibrational drug food, this man-made drug food, this low-density solids. I'm done eating these low-density toxic solids. So yeah, peace reflections. I'm finna tap out now. You feel I gave y'all a lot of energy in this upload. Really absorb it. You feel me? Really tap in. Have it sit with your soul. Peace. Ashe.